Daniel and his three friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, had been taken from their home in Jerusalem all the way to the country of Babylon. And there they were, standing in front of the king of Babylon. And the king was telling them that he had a special plan for them and some other boys. He wanted them to learn all the things about Babylon and to be his special helpers. He was going to give them his food to eat and have them learn all kinds of things for several years. It was perhaps a better situation than it could have been, being taken away from their family and their home, but it was still not going to be an easy thing for Daniel and his friends. But they determined that they were going to be faithful to God no matter what happened to them. They would love and obey Jesus and do everything they could to honor him while they were there. But when Daniel and his friends were served their food, they looked at it and realized they had a problem. You see, the king ate lots of meat and sweet cakes, and he drank wine. And Daniel and his friends knew that those things would not please God, and they knew that those things would not help them to be healthy. So they went to Prince Melzar, who was in charge of them, and they told him that they would like to have, instead of these things, fruits, vegetables, brown bread, things that would help their bodies to be healthy. Melzar shook his head and said, "No, I can't do that. The king has given you the best that he has, and if you eat these other things, you won't be strong and healthy. And when the king sees that you are sick, he will be upset with me. He might even kill me. I can't do that." So Daniel and his friends asked Melzar for something. "Just 10 days, he said. "Just 10 days. Let's try it for 10 days. And then you can see. If we're sick, then you can stop giving us those other foods. But if we aren't sick, then you can keep giving us those other foods." So Melzar agreed to do that. So Melzar brought them fruits and vegetables, bread and water. And that is what Daniel and his three friends ate for 10 days. And at the end of the 10 days, Melzar looked at Daniel and Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego, and he said, "You don't look sick. In fact, I think you look better off than the other boys who are eating the king's food and drinking the king's wine." And so for 3 years, Melzar let Daniel and his friends eat the healthful foods as they were learning in the king's school. After 3 years, the king sent for Daniel and his friends, and he gave them a test. He asked them lots and lots of very hard questions. Daniel and his friends did very well on the test. In fact, they did so well that the king said that they were smarter than all the wise men he had in his kingdom. God had blessed Daniel and his friends because they had done what would honor him and please him. They obeyed his laws of health, and that helped them to do well. God can help you too. When we do the things that God has asked us to do, he is able to bless us and help us. Our memory verse today is from Daniel 1, verse 17. It says, "God gave them knowledge and skill." I would like for you to take a moment and say this to your mom or dad. Daniel 1, verse 17. God gave them knowledge and skill.